Good afternoon, everyone. Today is March the 12th, 2026. Uh, Before we begin today's session, I'd like to take a moment to frame why today's topic, the new data product lifecycle, faster, smarter, and AI powered, and why it matters so much. For years, we've seen organizations treat data like a resource that moves slowly through the pipeline, collected, stored, analyzed, and eventually used to inform decisions. But in the world we operate today, it moves much faster than traditional model was ever designed for. Today, data isn't just something we store, it's something we activate. And for every interaction, every system, every digital process, it generates signals that can help us understand customers better, run operations more efficiently, and make smarter decisions. However, the real challenge isn't just having data, it's being able to move through the life cycle of that data quickly, intelligently, and at scale. And that's where the new data product lifecycle comes in. Instead of slow linear processes, we're seeing a shift towards systems that are continuous and intelligent. Data is ingested faster. It's processed in near real time. Insights are generated automatically, and increasingly, AI is helping organizations not just analyze data, but act on it. AI changes the game as it allows us to move beyond simply understanding what has happened in the past. It enables us to detect patterns earlier, automate decisions, and deliver insights exactly where and when they're needed. In other words, the life cycle isn't just faster, it's smarter. And when done right, it becomes a powerful engine for innovation, powering better products, and more responsive services, and informed leadership. And that's exactly what we're going to do to explore today's session. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce my colleague, Jeff Giles. And Jeff's going to walk us through what this AI-powered data product cycle looks like, and in practice, and how it's evolving, what it enables, and how organizations need to think about it as they look to adopt it. Jeff brings a wealth of experience in this space and has been working closely with teams who are building and implementing next generation data capabilities. So with that, Jeff, let me pass it over to you, and you can start with the agenda.
Thank you, Robert. I'm going to cover 5 basic things today.
You can show your screen, Jeff. I want to show your screen.
I thought
There
I
we
was
go.
sharing my
We're
screen.
seeing it now.
Oh, so there's a little bit of a delay. Sorry about that, folks.
Okay. And if you can just go ahead and hide your camera, then we'll see the full screen. So, because we're just seeing your image, and then the screen is a smaller one. We want that reverse round. So just go ahead and hide your camera. It should go full screen mode.
I am full screen mode.
There you go. We are live, and we've got a full screen mode. Take it away.
Okay. Okay, some technical housekeeping that we had to do there. So let me just jump in here and talk about the 5 things I'm going to cover today. First thing we're going to talk about is why traditional data delivery is so slow. What is a data product, the business values that they create, and how an automated data product factory works, and what organizations should do next. So let's begin with a core problem, which is why traditional data delivery is so slow. And it's not that they move slowly because they don't have any ideas or ambitions. But as you can see here in this graphic, it's because delivery is manual, fragmented, and often governed after the fact. Every handoff in this pipeline adds delay, rework, risk. So what the business really needs to know is the data trusted, and can we deliver it faster? So to explain how that can improve, we first need to define the core building block, and that is the data asset. So a data asset is data made available for use. It could be a table, it could be a file, it could be a feed, an API data set, or even a spreadsheet. It has value, but it usually lacks packaging. So packaging is needed for business use. They want to know clear ownership, service levels, quality commitments, governance, In other words, the data asset is just raw material. But we have to take that raw material and turn it into something business friendly. So that's the next question. A data product is what you get when you add the missing layers around just raw data. So that includes the architecture, the metadata, lineage, quality controls, documentation, governance, and discoverability, right? That is basically what turns the raw material into something you can trust. It also makes it more reusable, and it really functions a lot like a product at that point. The important shift here is that AI can now automate many of these steps, which helps accelerate the whole life cycle. So once we understand that, automation can be sped up by AI, it becomes a little easier to see what data products look like in the real world. So let's take a look at some data products that you may have come across in the real world. So they come in different forms. They can be decision APIs, operational AI products, insight products like dashboards and things like that. But what they have in common is that they are designed for use. The dashboard will give you information very readily. You don't have to build the dashboard. It's actually there for you. So they support action, insights, decisions, rather than just exposing raw data to you. Once we see that, the conversation will shift from technology alone to a bigger question of how the organization must operate differently. So let's see how that transformation sort of comes about. So here we're not just talking about tools. What we're talking about is a shift from one-off pipelines to reusable data products. So not just doing it, putting out a fire, doing another one, putting out another fire, essentially having a product that you can use again and again and again. So we're going from manual delivery to an AI automated factory, from a siloed team to cross-functional collaboration. And let's say from reactive governance, which happens all the time, to governance by design. We build that actually into the product. So in other words, the operating model changes along with the technology. And if the operating model is going to change, the value profile changes too. So here what we're talking about is the business value of AI-powered data products. So this is basically the payoff here. The benefits are pretty clear. Better reliability, trust, and quality, along with lowered risk, fewer incidents, faster delivery, greater scale, and lower cost per data product. So this is not just technical improvement, it directly improves business performance. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at this in practice, and I'm going to introduce something called the automated data product factory. So this slide is essentially going to show you the ADP factory in action. So I'm going to walk through it in about 5 steps. So the first thing that you see when you work with this is just a natural language field. So you can type in any business request into this, and what it's going to do is going to take that information and it's going to identify any attributes, any relationships, any data model specifications, while the existing data catalog looks for context and consistency. So really what we're looking at here is sort of technical metadata as well as semantic metadata here, and combining those together while it actually works. So once we send it on its way, the process starts with the reuse here. So before you go ahead and create anything new, the factory is going to check whether relevant data product already exists and can be reused. So you have 2 options here. You can either continue and build a new data product or go directly to the marketplace. So what it's basically saying is either your request is already answered because somebody else asked it and it's in the marketplace already, or you're creating something brand new that doesn't exist. So let's assume in this situation that we're going to create something brand new. So if the reusable product does not already exist, the factory generates a brand new model. And as it does that, each proposed entity is validated against the data catalog to make sure it aligns with the approved definitions and standards. And here in this image, what you'll see is that we've got some logical entities here. Some are in green and some are in gray. The ones that are in green have already been validated against the data catalog. So they're basically already approved objects that you can work with. The ones in gray, they don't exist yet. So these are the ones that you're going to have to investigate. So now, once the specification is complete, the data product is published to the data marketplace. That makes it discoverable, searchable, and available for everybody else. And with the metadata and technical specifications, they're already included here. So this pushes it out to the marketplace so that other people can use it. And then lastly, we've got a data product delivered with a trust score, a score that's based on measurable factors like data quality, completeness, user feedback, so consumers can quickly judge how reliable the product is. So we know that oftentimes people will just judge things based on data quality alone. Say, well, it's 80% data quality, but this is a little bit more than that. This is data quality. Does it actually have a definition? So does it have a semantic definition? Is this information already in the data catalog? So the trust score isn't really just a data quality score. It's actually a bit more than that. So the value here is not just faster delivery. It's faster delivery with reuse, some consistency, and trust built into it. And that leads naturally to the operating model that makes this possible. So let's take a look at how this works. So what we're looking at here is basically it's AI driven, right? So we're using AI to help us out. So we've got natural language builds to a data model, applies the industry standards, and it's business context aware. What is the definition of a term? These various things like that. Then it's metadata aware by default. So it's going to look at all the metadata that's collected across all the different glossaries, all the different schemas, everything it's got. And then it's going to look at the engineering side of it. Generates code for pipelines, schemas. This would include things like ETL type things. It auto creates the documentation, which is something people don't generally do. And then publicize. So we're going to package it and push it out to the marketplace. And then we can actually have people comment on this. So they can look at it and say, this is very valuable. I use it a lot. Or this is quite what we want, but you could improve it by doing this or that or something else. So there's sort of a feedback loop to this. So the purpose of the factory model is not to replace engineers. It's to augment what they do by automating the repetitive lifecycle tasks and embedding the metadata design, technical specifications directly into that flow. The real success is going to come from integration and metadata-driven automation, not from disconnected point tools like I have an ETL tool and I have a data glossary and I have this tool and that tool. It's all across one pipeline here. So the next step is to look at where AI adds value across the life cycle. So here we're looking at three basic things. Mindset, which is really just thinking about data as a product. And then foundational, which is more about a platform. And then the acceleration part is AI. So the modernization message here comes down to the three ideas: the mindset, the foundation, the acceleration. Treat your data products as strategic assets. They have ownership, domains. They're measured by business impact. The foundational part, let's use a standardized platform to make delivery repeatable. It's governed, it's automated. And then lastly, acceleration. Let's start to use some of that AI and the tools to amplify the team so they can scale this without just adding more people. So with that framing, the last question is, where would you begin? So here, a practical starting point is to assess the current state. Inventory existing pipelines and data products, choose 2 or 3 high-value use cases, pilot them, use the AI-powered automation, and then define the platform roadmap needed to scale this up. So the closing message here is pretty simple. Industrializing data products is becoming a competitive advantage. And the organizations that combine the product thinking, the strong platforms, with AI acceleration will be the ones that deliver the trusted data fastest. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Robert Lutton to close us out.
I'm here, Jeff. I'm here.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Just wondering, I was going to start tap dancing and singing a song because there's too much dead air space.
No. I had to turn my my camera on, the microphone on. So, and Jeff, we can have a little bit of a discussion here. So, Quest, for which we are a value-add partner, they have launched this trusted data management platform, and this trusted data management platform, which includes how to generate the data products, but it leverages the entire platform. It leverages the modeling, it leverages the cataloging, it leverages data quality for your trusted scores, and it leverages the whole AI features. So we're just beginning to see how products like this are coming onto the marketplace, how they're really changing the capability of delivering data products instead of weeks and mountains of spreadsheets. We're seeing these types of tools come to the marketplace and deliver productivity gains unto here seen before. Where it's reducing the complexities of you having to create your logical models, your physical models, your definitions, your PII. It kind of does a lot of this for you in a natural language framework. Can you maybe talk to a little about what you've seen so far about how the productivity gains are there for clients to reap the rewards on?
Sure. If you think about what AI brings to the picture, it's incredible. Things that you used to have to go out and do research on the web, like you used to have to go out and Google things, assemble things, put them together, create some sort of research paper or anything, can now be done instantaneously by simply going to a natural language prompt and typing in what you want and what you expect to find. We just take that concept and we're now applying it to data catalogs, and we're talking about lineage and let's say semantic meaning for business, and we're letting AI do a lot of that heavy lifting. But the beauty of it is now that we're taking this AI and we're sort of combining it with data assets that you already have, and then taking that data asset and packaging it up. Now, by packaging, what we're really just talking about here is saying we want to put data management and data governance practices around this piece of data we're working with. So we know who might own this data, what the data quality might be, its lineage, where does it come from. So these are the things that I've seen thus far in working with this product, and it does accelerate things. And it is a mindset shift, because now we're thinking about things like a product would. So if you thought about, let's say, making furniture, you've got raw materials like wood. That's going to go into that process of how you're going to build this furniture. But you're going to take that raw wood and you're going to cut it into its lengths and its widths, and you're going to drill holes in it, and you're going to do different things with it that prepares it to be assembled as a chair or a desk or a table or something like that. And then once you output your chair or desk or table, it's readily available and it can be used by somebody for something functional. So that's what we're really kind of talking about here, is we're saying, let's treat data like a product that we can reuse. Because once we've generated one kind of table, we can generate other tables repeatedly over and over and over again, which is going to save us tremendous amounts of time in doing data management, data governance type things. So I hope that adds a little insight, Rob.
It does, and this single seamless integrated platform has just been launched. So for clients that are listening now or in the future, if you want to have a demonstration of the new data product lifecycle, you can contact us, whether you're in North America at info@sandhillconsultants.com, or if you're outside North America, you can contact us at info@sandhill.co.uk. So there's a lot that Quest has brought to the plate here. We see it as one of the first players in the marketplace to provide seamless capabilities. I think I heard the phrase shop, share, and compare your data sets recently, and a shout out to Glenda O'Keefe on that. I thought that was very nicely said. So for anyone that is interested in learning more about how you can leverage your data models, how you can increase the delivery of your data products faster, better, more efficiently, leveraging AI, reach out to us at the coordinates that you can see on the screen, and we look forward to hearing from you. And so with that, Jeff, thanks very much indeed. It was a quick update. We will be presenting more actual live demonstrations in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. But in the interim, if you need more information, please reach out to us. Thanks very much indeed. And Jeff, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.